Good morning, YouTube. Your boy Humble Warrior back with another video. Wanted to talk about the Dolphins 24-17 victory against the New England Patriots last night on Sunday Night Football. Tua Tagovailoa, 21-30, 249, touchdown and an interception. Raheem Mostert, he had 18 carries, 121 yards, 2 tubs. Waddle had 5 receptions, 86 yards. Waddle had 4 receptions, 86 yards. Tyreek was 5 for 40. That's pretty much the four-headed monster we have breakdown. Last night was a bit of nip and tuck. The Patriots did come out with 3 deep safeties. They mitigated the deep throws completely. Kudos to them. I knew going into that game they were not going to let Tyreek just get off, so I wasn't, pressed about his numbers. My biggest concern was getting everybody else involved, which Tua did a great job of that. Durham Smythe, River Craycraft, Braxton Berrios, they all made timely catches. But I was very, very pleased with the running game. To have almost 100, and I think it's Raheem Mostert at 121. Ahmed, I think he went, I got to look at the numbers again, but I'm sure he went over 50 yards. So between those two, he had over 170 yards rushing. Pretty good, because Bill Belichick's defense is very, 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 very stingy, very, very disciplined. They don't give up much. You have to earn everything you do get. But Mike McDaniel's creativity during that game gave them the upper hand. When they did take away the deep passes, he went with, motion draws and other little gadget plays to keep the defense honest, along with the rushing attack, which he didn't abandon in the second half, because if you watch the game, Raheem Mostert, I think he had a 45-yard touchdown run in the third quarter. That's what basically broke the game open. From there, I felt like on the 4th and 2 play, I think it was, in the fourth quarter, I would have let Tua actually convert that, because Jason Sanders been in a funk lately, and he nearly blew the game with that missed opportunity of field goal. So I would have put the ball in Tua's hand. Mike McDaniel, just my advice to you. Overall, my grade, which I'm gonna start doing this now, my grade for Tua is a B+. The interception was dumb. First of all, Tyreek Hill actually beat Gonzalez down the field, but Tua underthrew him. Now, yes, Matt Judon was barreling down, but if Tua actually steps into that throw, he's probably going to hit Tyreek in stride over the head of Gonzalez. So, bad throw by Tua. Terrible throw. Call it what it is. He caused that turnover. The fumble, that was more so on Connor Williams, but Tua recovered it. And outside of that, he played a flawless game. He actually bailed us out of a big possible turnover in the first quarter when the center delivered a very low snap to his ankles. He actually caught it. He got stuck in the turf. The way that his ankle turned was concerning, but he seemed to not be affected by it, so we're going to just say he's good. Outside of that, he played a marvelous game. The defensive tackle, I think it was for New England, said he didn't do anything special against them. He wasn't supposed to. His job was to mitigate turnovers and to move the ball, which he did it on every single possession, I think, except one when it went 3 and out from 2 passes, I think, and a run. Outside of that, he played a flawless game. The maturation process is becoming more and more apparent. You can see that he's more confident. You can see that he is in full control of his offense now, and they're throwing more and more at him, and he's dealing with it very, very well. I'm curious to see how we handle this Denver defense. Not saying they're really good, but if we could put up, realistically 30 points like we nearly did last night, we'll beat Denver, move on to 3-0. But I think that Tyreek and Waddle will probably have a big game this Sunday coming up. Shout out to my boy Travis. Travis Higginbotham for the comment on my last video. He did tell me to speak on Mike Krzyzewski Mike Krakowski. So the reason why he's not with the Miami Dolphins anymore, for one, he didn't fit the scheme that Mike McDaniels ran, and two, he doesn't block. He's terrible at blocking. He's probably one of the worst tight ends when it comes to run block support, which is why New England also didn't put him in the game when they ran the ball. They put him in for passes because he can't block for nothing. Just calling it what it is. The dude can't block. And because of that, he's a liability when it comes to the run game, which is why Miami finally parted ways with him, because he felt like he deserved, a bigger contract. And let's be real, I mean, you was okay, but you were not no Darren Waller or Travis Kelce or none of them guys. And you certainly can't provide, run blocking support to spring your running backs free. So, to even think that you could, or even think the Dolphins are gonna pay you, was crazy. Now, if you watch that game, you see a common thing with him. He's not known for speed. He's only known for, getting in certain zones or holes or whatever and making catches. They tried to throw a wheel route to him that basically was covered down the field, and then Mac Jones, I think, overthrew him by like 10 yards. But you see that Miami had the same issue when it comes to him. He doesn't separate, and he can't really do a lot when he's covered. If he's covered, you can't even really give him the ball, because he's not going to do a lot to basically separate himself from the defender, which is a big thing now. Separation is key. You can't just, you can't just be catching in crowded windows and stuff like that. You got to be able to separate from your defender. He has the hardest time doing that. When he was in Miami, he wasn't much of a separation tight end. He couldn't even give you a half a yard of separation. So most of his throws to it would fit it right to where only he can get it, which means throw it up high, not low. That's how he catches most of his passes. You throw it low, you throw it directly to him, chances are he's going to get battered down or something like that, or, he may or may not catch it. But if you throw it up high, he's going to go get it. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6". So he's known for, basic jump passes. But I digress. The New England Patriots, they're a solid defensive unit. Offense, they need some work. I think the Dolphins took their foot off the pedal, and you could see that after the second quarter. They kind of like, okay, we're up 17-3. The third quarter, that 3-and-out drive hurt us, because had we came out and got up 24-3, I don't think New England fights back at all. I think they eventually will, hey, just put the third, fourth unit in there. We'll just chalk this one up and go into next week. But because we didn't convert, and then we let them back in the game, it became a dogfight. And truth be told, I think Mike McDaniel abandoned giving Tua the ball in that moment. I think that 4th and 2 play, he would have got it. Now the fumbled exchange, that looked like it was more so on Tua than the center, because Tua actually had the ball, then he bobbled it, then he picked it up and just went forward to fall on it, which is smart. I didn't need him getting his back hurt or nothing like that, trying to be a superhero. Just get down and do what you do. But on 4th and 2, but give it to my playmaker, my quarterback. I'm gonna let him make that decision, and we'll ride it out with that. I wouldn't put the ball in the kicker's hands anymore. I just wouldn't, or the leg of the kicker. I wouldn't do that anymore, because in the playoffs, you're not gonna rely on the kicker. You rely on your quarterback. So play how you would in the regular season in the playoffs. Don't put Tua on the sideline in the fourth quarter with 4th and 2. Give him an opportunity to convert it. Give him the play call, allow him to execute, point blank. Outside of that, I was very pleased with defense. The running game was very, very good to see. Nice balance. Love to see that. I do want to see, more, I guess you could say, downfield shots from time to time, but I think that comes with more of opportunities being presented by the defense, because like I said, New England presented a 3 safety, front, so they wouldn't let nothing get by them. And it was good. I'm glad that the Dolphins had some adversity, because the Chargers had no answer. And they were just getting blowed up left and right, but the Patriots are smart enough to read off the Chargers' mishaps and capitalize on them. Because they only forced one turnover, which was that interception, which was a jump ball. If you watch, it was actual jump ball that Tyreek just couldn't. I think the ball was in the perfect spot for Gonzalez and not Tyreek, because Tyreek actually got up to where his hands were, but the ball was more in front of Gonzalez than it was where Tyreek jumped. So once again, I gave Tua the blame for that bad throw on his part, but I know he's gonna bounce back. Next week he'll have a solid week again, and so far he's at over 700 yards in 2 games, 4 touchdowns, and 2 picks. He just got to chop down on the interceptions. No more dumb throws in games like that, and we'll be fine. He's next week if he put up another 300-400 yard game, he's already over 1,000 in 3 games. So he's on pace to put up like astronomical numbers. Just need him to take 1 possession time, 1 play at a time, and we'll be fine. But in that, guys, I could go to work and try to scarf down his breath real quick. But that was my take on the game last night, guys. Let me know what you think. Peace.